We are seeing these AI to 3D modeling softwares pop up all over the place now. And today I'm going to test one for you. The one I'm going to try is called Neural4D, and I'm going to take you through everything that I'm doing on my laptop, trying out a variety of different models, seeing how they come up in their software, and then seeing how that model renders within the slicing software. And we'll see how it actually runs overall, all the way to the final print. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ashley, and I have built a six-figure bakery from my home. I am now taking everything that I learned to build that business to build our home 3D printing business. But this time, I'm taking you along on the journey so that you too can grow a business, because I think that everybody has that capability. Now, let's get into today's video. This is how it looks when you first go to the Neural4D website, and it shows you all the different things that their software can do. There's image to 3D, text to 3D, there's image generation, and some other things that don't really apply to us as 3D printers, but they're there. And if you scroll down, you can see all of the different models that have been made with their software. And if you want, you can even choose one and choose to regenerate that image to make your own. So I'm just going to show you that quickly with this skull here. This is it being regenerated. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to drop it into the software to actually make it into a 3D model. I'm not going to print it just because of all the heavy color changes, but I want to show you how it then renders in their 3D software, which then you can pull over to your slicer and decide to print if you wanted to go with one of their pre-made models that are already on the website. Next, let's try out their actual concept generator when you describe an image, and we'll see how it does with it. Now, this can be tricky to figure out sometimes exactly how you need to describe that image to make it go. So you may need to make some alterations to it. I have kind of been playing around with how to do this for a while and other AI softwares. So you can see what I said on the screen there to generate this reindeer. And then I just decided to take that image and actually make it into a 3D model. I think the software does well when they create the image themselves to then render it into a model. So I exported it to put it into my slicer. And you can see here they are kind of, I guess, like errors that pop up when you do so, and it's just in terms of the sizing of the model. So I just clicked for it to change it and it all worked out fine. But I recently updated the bamboo slicer, and this is something brand new that I've never had before with it. So this is just trying to do the color matching. So I chose to put the smooth level all the way up. You can see that I have the 4 colors chosen at the top because I only have a 4-color AMS. And then you click apply and it will do those colors for you. The model went in sideways, so I just quickly gave it a little flip so that it's facing the right way. And then I chose to simplify it because it had way too many triangles, which was going to be too difficult to color. Once I simplified it, I went through, I put the colors in where I wanted to put them. And when I was happy with the model, I decided to send it to the printer. Using their image creation tool again, I chose this time to make a cute dragon out of it, just a basic little one. But then I wanted to take it from this standard one color and see if I regenerated it, how their software would do now applying color to the exact same model. And you can see here that when it renders, it comes up in the two-tone yellow and the black, and it looks pretty good. When you zoom in, there is a bunch of blurring within the colors, and I think that obviously the software could use some improvement just in terms of how it colors models. But I was just going to print this in a gradient filament anyways, so I exported it and then I got it dropped into my slicer so that I could send it over to the printer. Okay, let's take a look at how our little dragon is printing. I did print him at a very low infill. It's only about 8% infill, but right now I have it going with a 2-tone gradient here, and the print is going really well so far. So we're going to see how it continues, and when he's all done, I'll pull him off and I'll show it to you. Okay, our little dragon here is done. So let's take it off, clean it up, and see how it looks. Just gonna torch him because I did use a silk and there's a little bit stringy. If you don't have one of these torches, I highly recommend it. And that is how, oh, I missed a support there and one there. But that is how it turned out. And this is done in, I think I said a 2-color earlier, but it is a 3-color. It's a red, green, blue, which I think was the perfect choice for a model like this. But it did come out exactly as it appeared to, and it did print perfectly. There were no problems with it. All of the supports that I chose myself within the slicer, I always just do the slim tree supports. Those are the ones that I prefer. I find that they do the least amount of damage. But even there were no supports printed in that part there, and it printed out perfectly. So I am quite happy with how that really basic little model turned out. And then over on this printer right now, I have started printing the reindeer. So he's got about 2 hours and 51 minutes left. This one has more color changes. Obviously, the other one was done just in a single color. So we will see how the color changing turns out. I just wanted to see how it would print after applying the different color changing and seeing how this model would work out. If you're still watching, I want to say a huge thank you. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It's been a real challenge on YouTube the last couple months to get videos seen, and it really helps when you guys engage more with the videos. I do read and reply to every single comment, so let me know what you think of the Neural4D software and if it's something that you would try out. For my third and final model, I decided to make it a little bit more challenging and go with something practical like this planter. So I created it within their software again, and then took that image that was created to render into the actual pot that itself. And I think that the way that the model turned out, it had a really, really cute face. I liked it a lot. But when I spun it around, I found that it had no bottom. And obviously, for a planter pot, that is not going to work. So I went back into their software and I made sure to tell it this time to ensure that the model had a bottom. I wasn't sure if this would then translate over to the model generation, but it really did. And I actually preferred this model over how the first model went. If you look closely, though, you can see the model has way too many faces. So I decided to regenerate it to make the model a little bit more basic so that it would be easier once I got it into the slicer to get it colored. So I decided to export this cute little guy because I can use him as a little succulent planter. And he's got multiple color changes. So it was really the biggest challenge, I think, in terms of seeing how the software and the models would go. Now that we're over here in the slicer, we're going to do the color matching again through Bamboo. And when he comes on his side again. I'm just going to give him a little bit of a flip so that it's right side up. And then I'm going to go through and clean up the colors, because when you really zoom in on these models, and this is pretty common with these AI generators, you will see that the lines can get quite messy. So it does take some time to get in there and clean up everything to make it look good if this is a model that you're actually going to sell. When I print this guy, I know at first I'm just going to use him for myself. So I'm not really worried about everything being absolutely perfect, but I do obviously want it to clean up a bit because I want it to look pretty good when it's on the shelf in my house. So it did take me quite a bit of time to get it fully cleaned up and to the point where I was ready to get it printed. And then I wanted to go through and slice it to see how long it was going to take. And I just thought I would put it on the printer overnight and we would see exactly how it comes out. This one is the most challenging model that I did decide to make in this software, in that it is the planter pot, it's got the hollow space, it has the multiple color changes. So I'm curious to see in the end how it's going to be with the final result. Let's check in on how our cute little planter pot is doing here. It still has a little ways to go, 4.5 hours, but this to me, I think is going to be perfect with a little succulent in it. That's what I'm going to do. But I just want to say, as somebody who is learning to 3D model, doesn't have all the skill set, I think that AI and where it's going to go in terms of being able to model is just incredible. And the fact that I could go into the software and make something like this in a matter of minutes that would otherwise take me likely hours as somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, I think that that is just pretty incredible. because it really opens up the door to so many people who don't have the modeling capabilities to be able to widen their selection of what they can make and offer to their customers. And again, I know AI is not for everybody, but I feel like we're at a time in history where it's not going away. And there are going to be people that incorporate it into their businesses no matter what. So for me, as somebody who will continue to learn to model, I'm not going to just go to AI, but I think for some things, it's really great the way that it can make them and just do it so quick. So the next clip will be when this little guy is done. Good morning. We have our little planter buddy done here. So let's pop him off the tray and see how he is. Got some supports all around the base. I guess he didn't sit exactly flat. That's okay. I'll clean out his mouth after because that will take a couple minutes to do it properly. But here he is. There's the inside. I'm impressed with the hollow body. And I'm going to put a really cute little succulent in this guy. I will get these supports out. He does have a little tongue in there, but I just want to show you how he turned out. So I'm quite happy with him. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope that you learned something. Let me know in the comments what you think about this software and if it's something that you might try out. I am excited to dive into software like this a little bit more, and I will have more about that coming up in future videos. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can continue to follow along. Until next time, happy printing!